Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to episode 15 in our All of Fabric modded Minecraft series. Spent some time in the Nether collecting lava for our power system and doing some mining, grabbing some extra things. So basically, the way I've been getting lava to power our base is I have these two tanks. I'll go in and I'll fill one up, and I'll put it right here, which will keep this filled up. And then I have this one that's used about half of what we had, or a little over half of what we had. And when I go in again, I fill it back up again. I also got some cobalt. We're going to use that today. But what we want to do is we want to upgrade our magmators to the next levels. And so if we take a look at the tiers for these, I have one of these I already upgraded to blazing just to get the power up to where I needed it to be. But the step from hardened up to blazing, it gives you 4 times the amount of power. So if we do that with the other one, we'll end up getting 80 instead of 50 RF per tick for the two of them. Then the next step after that is Niotic, which uses diamonds, goes to 100 RF per tick. So if we do both of them, that'll be 200. After that, we could go into Spirited, which uses emeralds, and Nitro, which I believe uses nether stars. So we're not going to be getting to that anytime soon, but we could go all the way to Spirited if we want to. Now the issue is, if we got to Spirited, we would be getting 800 FE per tick from the 2 magmators. The issue is that we would also be burning through lava a lot faster. So what we need to do is make an entangled tank. We actually need to make 2 of these, which means we're going to need 4 Eyes of Ender. That's it. We need to get more blaze rods, and we need 2 blocks of gold. I believe we have. We do. So all we needed to do is get more blaze rods. While I was in the Nether, I grabbed a couple of blaze spawners. So blaze spawners, in this mod pack, you can shift right click to pick spawners up. So I brought them out here and placed them down. I just put them in a small chamber here temporarily where they're closed off, so I can come in and spawn blaze and kill them to get blaze rods. The problem is blazes are very strong, and I am not very strong at the moment. Oops. As you can see. So we're going to use the cobalt we got today to make some plate armor, first of all. Secondly, we're going to work on building a proper spawn room for these spawners. What I want to have in that spawn room, and I have made a couple of things for it, is I want to have vector plates that push the blazes towards us, and then I want to have a tinted glass window so I can see into it. And from there we will, that's just the basics. From there we will end up decorating the spawning room a little bit more to make it a little fancier, and probably add some extra features to it, like an auto kill system at some point. But for now, I just want to have an easier way to get blaze rods, because I'm going to need a lot of them. So first things first, we want to make some new armor, because we want to be able to fight off the blazes. So first thing we need to do is actually craft the armor. So we're gonna do some plate armor. So to do the plate armor, the other thing we need are chains, which are just made with iron ingots and iron nuggets. So let's do the helmet. And we will do chest plate. Then we will do the leggings and boots. Now, there's lots of things we can do to our plate armor, but the first thing we want for sure is to add fire protection to it, which means we need seared reinforcements. Seared reinforcements are scorched stone or seared stone poured over obsidian panes. Obsidian panes are just molten obsidian poured out. We need 24 of these. So for that's for each piece of armor. So we're going to need to do quite a bit of these. So we're going to grab some obsidian. Let's actually grab a couple of stacks. And then to make seared stone, make liquid seared stone, we can melt down any of the seared items, or you can melt grout. So as far as grout goes, we can easily craft some more of that. Oh, we're out of clay already. Probably just not in block form. So we'll start there. I also have some leftover seared stone from our construction, so we'll melt that back down. And I actually have a bucket of seared stone. So we're going to spend some time melting some obsidian down, melting some seared stone down, and making some obsidian panes. So I've set up a little bit of automation here, just with a casting table and a hopper underneath that goes into a barrel. And I filled the smeltery with obsidian. So I am piping the obsidian out to make obsidian panes. I'm going to make quite a bit of these because they are used not just for the fire protection enchantment that I want to use here, but they're used in lots of other recipes too. Both for modifiers and for just various things. So I figured while I'm here, I'll just do 2 full stacks of obsidian and let this go doing its thing. I also put some stone in here so that when we're done, I'm hoping that I'll be able to just put the obsidian panes in here. I'll switch this over to seared stone, and then this will put the obsidian pane in before anything pours out. I don't think there is a seared stone pane, so it shouldn't go in there without it, but we'll find out. But it's going to take this quite a while to turn all that obsidian into panes and to clear all this stuff out. So just going to wait until it gets done, and then we will get our fire protection on our plate armor, and we'll see how well that holds up against the blazes. I actually miscalculated how much obsidian panes you get from each obsidian. So I am pulling some of the obsidian blocks back out now. I also put up another casting basin on this side. The pipes, once you connect them, are filtered to the item that is in them, even if it runs out. So I can leave this on here, and anytime I put obsidian in, it'll automatically go through. Also, if I want to turn this off, all I have to do is go in here, set it to insert only, and then it'll stop pumping out. So I'm going to leave it on there, and then we can always change it to a different fluid if we need, or add more drains as we need to. But we have put in just enough obsidian panes in here to make them what we need, and we have seared stone in here as well. And so we are making our seared reinforcements. So the way these work is we put in 24 of these, and now our plating gets fire protection. Did that just give me just fire? Oh, so I need 24 for each level. Okay, so this is actually going to take me a lot more than I need. So I'm going to go turn that obsidian system off. temporarily. Because what we want is to switch this out. Leave that in there, that in there. We're going to actually want to make another casting basin because we're going to need a lot more plates than I even thought. Actually, let's leave that there for now. I'm not sure if I'm going to need... I'll make one. But I'm not sure if I'm going to need more than I have because I did make quite a bit of extra... I don't want a basin. I want a casting table. So we'll just put this in here temporarily, and then we can swap these out as we need depending on what we're going to do. We can also swap out the filter. For now, I just break a hole in the ground so I can get underneath to change the pipe, but I'll have to come up with a better system for that. Let's fix the floor. Okay, so this is going to keep doing that. So if I need 24 for each level, that means I need 96 for each piece of armor. Which means I need quite a bit more. So let's switch this to on. So that it can keep making more plates for us. For now, we can put this down here. For now, we can pull out this mount and then throw these in there. That'll be enough for a second one. Because I had enough in there just to do one piece of armor. I thought I only needed 24 for each one, so I put in 96, thinking that'd be enough for all 4 of my armor pieces. But if I want to do protection, oh, and you can do partials. That's interesting. If I want to do fire protection 4 on all of these pieces of armor, then I'm going to need a lot of these seared plates. Okay, so that's maxed out with fire protection. We can start putting them on the leggings. We can let them keep going, and we will put these on. I want to see how much effect it has just with this little bit of armor. Looks pretty fancy too. We can actually also change the appearance of it. So if we want it to look like iron armor, we want it to look like copper armor, or many other different materials, there is the ability to put on appearance modifiers just to change the way it looks. But we're just going to pop in here real quick and just see how much effect just one level of fire protection and a little bit of second level does for our protection. That's already not bad at all. But yeah, we definitely want to get up to the full level. But once we have full fire protection armor, I think we'll be able to just chill in there and we'll not even have any problems. So that's great. So we're going to keep working on making the rest of these seared plates, and then we'll look and see if there's any other stuff we want to get put on our armor right now. But I think fire protection is all I'm going to need so that I can finish up this blaze farm. So it took me a long time, but I managed to get all of the blaze spawning area inside of the radius of these spawners blocked in with dirt. So there's 2 spawners in here. See if I can get up there and okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 spawners right in there. Since I have the areas 1 block above, 1 block below, and 4 blocks in every direction from the spawner blocked in, there is no spaces for them to spawn. Which is great, because now we can work on building the farm up around it without having to deal with them constantly spawning in our faces. So right now I'm just lowering the floor down a little bit. I think I want to have a little more space even than that, because our vector plates are going to move them out super quick, but I still want them to be below the spawning area when they get to the vector plates, I believe. So I'm going to clear out a couple more layers. I'm just using the tools I made for mining, my hammer, and the Maddock is like the combination axe shovel from Hephaestus. I think this layer should be good, because that is 1, 2, 3, 4 layers below. I think that's going to be fine, because we are also moving them out super quickly. I just want to make sure that they can continue to spawn while I'm killing them. That's my goal here. So, I'm not quite sure on our design yet, but let me pull out the vector plates. So what we're going to do is, underneath every block here, so starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you can shift click or shift walk on top of these vector plates so that they don't shoot you forward, but as soon as you let go, they will move you forward. I don't think I have enough of the... Oh, you see, if you place them in the wrong direction, you will end up pushing them, having the arrows go the wrong way. So you got to be very careful when you're placing them to make sure you're doing it the right way. I don't think I have enough of the red vector plates to do the entire floor out of them, so I'm just going to do... let's see, this should be 4 layers. That means the spawner is right above here. And then I'm going to have 4 this way. This is 3, 4, and 5. So that should be underneath. And that's good. Spawner's right here. So then from here, I'm going to... Let's check and see how many of these I have left. I have 8 of those. I have 10. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll get them into this corner. And then I'm going to switch to our yellow vector plates, or no, our green vector plates, which are the slower ones, to move them into the corner where I'm going to kill them. Hopefully that'll work. And then what we're going to do is we'll have a drop point right here. Let's see, my building blocks I need. We'll put a slab like that. And then 2 blocks up. Actually, I want to have glass above that. I need 3 more pieces of tinted glass to make a 2 tall row. And then we will have this dug out a little bit. We'll have to do some terraforming around it. Building blocks. Let's go to full blocks. We're going to make it this tall. And then we'll do the same from this corner. For now, I'm just going to build the shell of the spawning area itself. We will decorate the building later once we get the functionality worked out. Ooh, just killed myself. Way to go. I got dirt blocks all over the place inside my buildings because the Endermen like to leave me presents. They're just so nice. Okay, back to this. So I'm just going to build the frame out of stone blocks, and then I'm not sure what I'll build the walls out of yet, but it'll be something just stone, and then I will build a decorating wall around, like a building to house the whole thing once I'm done. I just want to get it functional first, because I'm not quite sure about the proportions and everything. And so designing a building to decorate around it afterwards is a lot better than trying to figure out those dimensions before I know exactly how it's going to work. So let's see, I want just stone brick if I have it. I guess maybe I don't have any more in here. Oh, I do. Just went past it. So then we'll make a roof of stone brick above, and then we'll make the walls out of that and put in a little bit more glass so we can see inside. And then we should be okay to remove the dirt. And I specifically chose dirt for inside so that I could just vein mine the whole thing away and then get myself back out. Oh, that is not what I meant to do. But so let me finish building this shell and get the glass put in place, and then we will test it out. Make sure that it's working before we start decorating it. I have quite a bit of decoration and terraforming to do to finish this, but I have gotten our blaze spawners functional to start. I think I may need to lower the area where they collect. But basically the blazes all collect in one spot here so that I can just kill them without them being able to get to me, and then I can just grab all the blaze rods, and as I'm killing them, more will come in. You can see right there we just got a whole bunch of blaze rods. As they spawn up here, the vector plates push them all right into the corner. Oh, they're piling up because they can see me, I think. So I have to figure out how I'm going to change that around. So a few things to tweak out, but we've got a functional blaze farm built here right next to our base, which is great. The nice thing about it is that we can also swap out the spawners or add more spawners inside, and that will allow us to get different drops or more drops and all that stuff. We will probably not be doing too much of that because this pack does have deep mob learning in it, which is what I'm planning on using for mob farming going forward once I have more power and stuff like that. But there will be some occasions where having just a regular old spawner based farm is nice to have. So we will finish getting this all decorated and built. I plan to build a building around it. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm going to spend the next episode working on that, because I want to do one where I kind of do some building together so we can see what it all looks like as it comes out. But like I said, I have a lot of terraforming to do with it because this building is set right into the mountainside here, and it's just not looking great yet. But, you know, it does the job. It contains the blaze so that we can get blaze rods, and then we can work on increasing our power. I was recording a clip of me doing some power upgrades here, and I got interrupted by a phone call, and I lost my place. So I'm just going to show you what we have done to set up in here. I have taken the blaze rods that we had, and I used those to make more of the blazing crystals. using our energizing orb. And I've used that as well as a few other materials to upgrade the magmators to both to blazing level now. So at blazing level, each one produces 40 FE per tick. I went back and I removed our cabling and replaced it with blazing level cabling, which allows transferring at 200 FE per tick. So now we're producing 90 FE per tick total, including the Fernator, and we're transferring 200 FE per tick. We have a basic energy cell which can only transfer at 160 FE per tick. So we don't need to upgrade this quite yet because we're only producing 90, but we will soon. But we need a lot more materials to go from basic to hardened and then to blazing. I also changed the way we have this wired up so that I moved my energizing orb down past the energy cell. That way, if this is drawing a lot of power, it's drawing it out of this bank and not causing us to run out of power in our network back here. The next thing I did is I created our entangled tank. And I've shown you that recipe before. We were waiting on more blaze rods to finish it. But so what we have done is made 2 of these. So now I have this one in line here. So I still have a spot where I can drop down a tank full of lava and it'll fill up the entangled tank for now. But in the future, we'll be able to sit this entangled tank down in the nether. And as long as we chunk load both of them, they will share an inventory. So we can set up a system to pump lava out of the nether and pump it directly into our base's power grid. To do that, we still need to get the drilling rig set up. Now the drilling rig, as I've showed before, is a very complicated craft from modern industrialization, but it's all stuff that we have access to now. We just have to craft a lot of things to do it. And what I want to do in order to do that, now that I have a steady amount of power and the ability to go a little bit farther with applied energistics, is I want to set up some auto crafting. And so I'm going to make some interfaces, and then I'm going to set it up to work with our modern industrialization machines so that we can slowly automate some of the smaller pieces. So basically, if we work our way from the bottom, instead of having to take a copper plate and then turn it into copper wire and then combine that with capacitors that we make from copper wire and gold plates and rubber sheets and all these different parts, I will be able to tell our system I need an analog circuit, and it will go through and autocraft all the pieces and give me an analog circuit. And then eventually I can work my way up to the point where I can even set it up to autocraft things as complicated as the oil drilling rig. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of resource collecting to get to that point. But that is going to be our focus in another episode. The next episode, I am going to work on finishing up our decorations for the blaze farm, because I would like to have that building finished. I don't want to have just a stone block spawner sitting in the middle of our base. The other thing that is duly needed with decorating is removing some of our other projects that we're not going to keep, and also cleaning up the paths and just generally decorating our area here, because we have some good buildings, but there's nothing to really tie anything together yet. So in the next episode, I'm going to do some base building on camera. We'll work on building a new area for the blaze farm. We're going to clean up everything in here, and we're going to work on building an exterior shell for our storage room finally. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know it was kind of jumbled back and forth, lots of things I was doing this week. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.